There is a quote from Jude Bellingham that most people have never heard, but once you hear it, you will understand everything about why this 21-year-old has never once looked broken on a football pitch. He said it as a Laureus sports ambassador, talking about mental health and confidence. He said, "I always try to keep my confidence high, whether it's through self-reassurance or accepting the fact that I won't complete every pass. I won't beat every player or score and win every game. The more comfortable you are with that, the more comfortable you are with knowing you're not perfect." One sentence from a 21-year-old that contains more genuine psychological wisdom than most people accumulate in a lifetime of trying to feel confident. And it explains everything why Bellingham walked into Real Madrid at 19 and immediately looked like he owned the place, why he scores in the biggest moments, why his confidence has never, not once, publicly broken under pressure. The answer isn't talent. The answer is in that quote. Most people think confidence is something you feel when things are going well. You score a goal, you feel confident. You play a great game, you feel confident. You get praised, you feel confident. And by that logic, confidence is fragile, because things won't always go well. Goals dry up. Games go badly. Criticism arrives. And if your confidence depends on things going well, it collapses the moment they don't. This is the confidence trap that destroys careers. A player starts badly. Their confidence drops. Lower confidence means worse performance. Worse performance means more criticism. More criticism means lower confidence. And the spiral continues until the player is a completely different version of themselves, smaller, more cautious, less dangerous than the one who arrived. Bellingham's ability to carry the ball through pressure, drive transitions, and connect attacks is exactly why managers and teammates trust him so much, but his incredible first season at Madrid may have raised expectations to an impossible level. Yet when those expectations weren't met in his second season, when the goals dried up and the criticism arrived, Bellingham never spiraled, because his confidence was never built on results in the first place. What Bellingham described in that Laureus quote is something psychologists call process-based confidence. Confidence that is anchored, not in outcomes, but in preparation and self-acceptance. He said he keeps his confidence high through self-reassurance and through accepting his own imperfection. Those are two completely different but equally powerful psychological tools. Self-reassurance is the internal dialogue he has with himself before and during games, not hoping he will play well, but reminding himself of the work he has done, the preparation he has put in, the player he has become through years of deliberate effort. Confidence doesn't come from hoping, it comes from preparation. This is something Bellingham has said explicitly, and it changes everything about how confidence works, because preparation is something you control completely, regardless of what happens on the pitch. The second tool, accepting imperfection, is even more powerful and even rarer in elite sport. Most players fight their mistakes. They tense up after a bad pass, trying to compensate, trying to fix it immediately, which usually makes the next action worse. Bellingham accepts the mistake, releases it, and moves to the next moment with a clean slate. He accepts the fact that he won't complete every pass, won't beat every player, won't score and win every game. And the more comfortable he is with that, the more comfortable he is with knowing he's not perfect. That acceptance is not weakness. It is one of the most sophisticated psychological skills any athlete can possess. At 16, Bellingham became the youngest player ever to represent Birmingham City in the championship. He didn't look nervous. He looked like he belonged. At 17, he moved to Borussia Dortmund, turning down Manchester United in the process because he wanted the biggest competitive stage available, not the most comfortable one. His extrinsic drive is why his career path has moved steadily toward the biggest competitive stages available, and his intensity scales sharply against elite opponents. At 19, he moved to Real Madrid, the biggest club in the history of the sport, and within months, he wasn't just playing there. He was running the midfield like he had been doing it for a decade. He scored on his La Liga debut. He scored in El Clasico. He scored in the Champions League. He became the player that Real Madrid's veteran squad, full of World Cup winners and champions, league legends, looked to when the game needed to be decided. And when his second season at Madrid was harder, when the goals came less easily and the pressure came more intensely, he didn't collapse. He kept showing up, kept leading, kept playing with the same presence that had made him look like a veteran at an age when most players are still finding their feet at their first professional club. Here is what makes Bellingham's approach to confidence genuinely important. It works everywhere, not just on a football pitch. The reason most people's confidence is fragile is because they built it on the wrong foundation. They built it on other people's approval, on results, on things going well, on being seen as successful All of those foundations collapse the moment circumstances change. Bellingham built his on preparation and self-acceptance. Two things entirely within his own control. Two things that cannot be taken away by a bad game or a critical crowd or a difficult season. Football naturally draws people to each other. It makes you want to talk, have a laugh, and get on with each other. And all of a sudden you find that you've made a friend and you've got someone to talk to when something in your life is not going great. That's the power of Bellingham becoming a glorious ambassador and speaking publicly about mental health, and vulnerability is the same psychology applied off the pitch. The willingness to accept imperfection, to be honest about struggle, to build strength from acknowledgement rather than from performance. At 21 years old, he has figured out something that most people spend their entire lives getting wrong. Jude Bellingham is 21 years old. He has already been the youngest player at Birmingham City, one of the most important players at Borussia Dortmund, and the heartbeat of Real Madrid. He has scored in the biggest moments of the biggest games in the biggest competitions, and he has never publicly visibly broken under the pressure of any of it. Not because he never struggles, but because his confidence was never built on the things that break. It was built on preparation, on self-acceptance, on the willingness to know he is not perfect and to play freely anyway. He said it himself. The more comfortable you are with knowing you're not perfect, the more comfortable you become. That is not just a football insight. That is one of the most important things any human being can learn about how to show up in the world. And a 21-year-old from Stourbridge figured it out before most people twice his age. If this changed how you think about confidence, the next video will show you something else. Bellingham does that nobody in football talks about. That one will genuinely surprise you.